Good afternoon, and I'd like to welcome you back into the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your Foul Player. Wanted to talk about this New York Jets trade to the Seattle Seahawks. The New York Jets franchise safety Jamal Adams was disenfranchised with the team for the last couple of months. He wanted a contract extension. I think that Joe Douglas and the hierarchy at the Jets wanted to play things out and maybe pay him at the end of this year. Jamal Adams wasn't happy with that, which I don't really blame him because he's a all-pro caliber player with 2 years remaining on his contract. But he forced his way into a playoff Super Bowl contending team potentially with the Seattle Seahawks. The As far as what the Seahawks gave up to get him, the Jets sent Jamal Adams and a 2022 fourth round pick, while the Seattle Seahawks sent their first round pick in 2021 or next year. In addition to their third round pick, safety Bradley McDougal, and a 2022 first round pick. Um, I was in the camp of the people that wanted to trade Jamal Adams, not because I thought that he was disgruntled and whatnot. I think he had a lot of reason to register his complaints when it came to Gase, ownership, whatever have you. I was more in the camp of wanting to trade him because I think that the Jets weren't ready to compete this year coming up. In addition to that, we have good depth at safety. Now that we drafted Ashton Davis, we still have Marcus May in the camp, but our defense is pretty good too. So I thought that trading Jamal Adams wasn't gonna kill us long term. Do I think they could have gotten more for that for Jamal Adams? Yeah, because the Bradley McDougal, the safety that they acquired from him, he's okay. I mean, he started for Seattle um, the last couple of years, but he's not like a game changer. But I thought that they could potentially get two first round picks and a second round pick next year. But this is not a bad trade. Another thing too is that the Seattle Seahawks are picking at the end of the first round. There's a very high possibility that they pick at the end of the first round. So these are almost second round picks that you're talking about for next year at the very least. But we'll see. I mean, like the Joe Douglas was able to have a good draft, which is unheard of for the Jets in the last and since I've been watching the team, we never had a good draft. But a lot of people were kind of pumped up about the draft this year and the players that he ended up acquiring, such as Denzel Mims, Ashton Davis. We ended up fortifying our left tackle spot. So I think people are excited about what Joe Douglas could do as a GM in the draft. And next year, if the this provides immediate help with the draft as far as acquiring first and a third round pick for next year at the very least. Another thing I just thought of too is that if the 2021 season gets hampered by the COVID-19 situation, that maybe this improves this trade because the Seahawks are getting less time with Jamal Adams, and that could have been the same circumstances for the Jets. Maybe the return for Jamal Adams would have been lessened, but I think this is given the circumstances, it was a good trade, and I say that because Jamal Adams, as a lot of you may know, has been very vocal about his displeasure with Adam Gase and his not and Joe Douglas. In addition to not getting his contract, he started making personal comments about Woody Johnson, the principal owner of the Jets, as far as him not being or the people up top at the Jets. I'm pretty sure he was referring to Woody Johnson not being good people, like to run a team. And I'm paraphrasing that. But yesterday, Manish Mehta, the local reporter for the Daily News, who has a bone to pick with the Jets, seemingly got a exclusive story from Jamal Adams directly, not his camp, saying that he didn't think that Adam Gase was the man for the job, and that Adam Gase doesn't have a good relationship with everybody over at Florham Park and in the Jets building, and he was subsequently traded the following day today. But I mean, I like Jamal Adams a lot, but I'm not like crying about seeing him get traded. I always like draft capital. I always like younger prospects, especially for a team that's not ready to commit to compete like the Jets are. I'd rather have that draft capital, but I hope this starts a new era with the Jets as far as this new really young crop of talent that we do have on the roster and coming down the pipe. Maybe Jamal Adams was even though he's still young too, but maybe he's the last remaining piece of this era of seeing how bad the Jets front office and hierarchy really is, and maybe we come into a better era with Joe Douglas at the helm, and maybe it was good that Jamal Adams was traded so he's not trashing Douglas, throughout the year. Adam Gase, I care less. I don't like Adam Gase one iota, and you won't find many Jets fans that are in the Adam Gase camp. I thought another thing that hampered us is that no matter how bad we thought Adam Gase was last year, even though it did result in more wins than we anticipated, that he was still going to get another year to try to prove himself this year. So no matter what, we were stuck with Adam Gase as our head coach. And you don't want that uncomfortable relationship between the star player having said all these comments throughout the offseason with the head coach, throughout the 2020 with all these young, or 2021 with all these young players that, in on our roster. But I'm glad it got done with to a degree. Do I wish we could have got more? Yeah. But then again, if you think about it, this is a little bit better than what the Giants received for Odell Beckham Jr. And Odell Beckham Jr. was more of like a star player. And I think the Giants, in hindsight, probably think that trade ended up working out for them in the long run. And maybe that'll work out for us here. I mean, the in the box safety, there's a lot of good in the box safeties that came up in the class that Jamal Adams came up in addition to the classes that followed Jamal Adams. They're not hard to come by. I do realize that an in the box safety is a very important position in today's NFL, but I think Marcus May could transition to that, to playing more in the box, and maybe they could run Ashton Davis and Bradley McDougal at the free safety position, which is more, which I think Bradley McDougal is more of a free safety, and we'll be okay. And hopefully this ends up netting some good players for us next year. Let me know what you guys think. With that, I'm out. Thank you for stepping into the Foul Playland. Peace.